ASL Prime League.
And here we are, down here in the bottom right. We've got our first player of the night to be introduced. It is the yellow Terran player. It's Semper.
And his opponent in the top left-hand corner of Terraform, the pink Zerg player representing Psy Storm Gaming. It is EnDerr. Oh yeah, and the groups tonight are looking really good. Currently we have EnDerr and Semper, as we just announced, and then Nerchio and Massa will be coming up a little bit later. So either way, we're going to have a ton of TVZs, possibly some ZvZ and TvT. We'll see, though. Loading into this first game of the first series. This is a best of 3.
Yes, it is. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a really fun night. It's tough to call how it'll play out. I would expect EnDerr to take the victory over Semper, but I don't know. Semper's, I'd say he's a bit of an underdog in this group, but certainly not one who I couldn't see pulling off an upset. EnDerr, his style is so aggressive that if Semper's just, solid at defending and doesn't take too many unnecessary risks, then he could very much take him down and find himself in the winner's match.
Yeah, it's going to be really key here to see how EnDerr kind of dictates the pace of the match. He did open Hatch Pool Gas, which is a little bit unique, actually. Normally you see Hatch Gas Pool, but either way, the Hatch first is completely fine. We see Semper get a full scout, sees about everything, and honestly, it just looks like, cool, you're doing the normal Zerg thing here. Semper, on the other hand, is doing what I'm actually seeing a little bit more often of, which I like. Instead of the Reaper expand, just go on Reactor on that first Rax, and you can pump out a few Marines for a quick bunker if you need to, and you have the extra gas with that early gas instead of doing Reaper to do a quick factory.
Yeah, I mean, you spend about the same amount and I think about the same time on a reactor, but then once you're pumping out those Marines, they're just much more kind of efficient. You can produce them much faster than Reapers, and they're about the same in kind of combat situations, so it ends up being pretty nice. And of course, Reapers scale much better than Marines. But yeah, EnDerr's going to try and move him with the length out here, but these Marines being out in a forward position are going to completely deny that. So EnDerr has no idea what's going on Semper's side of the map. And so, yeah, Semper, he's going to get away with a pretty nice, well-timed expand. Oh, actually, he might be able to pick off this Overlord. No, EnDerr stops it just in time.
Yep, not quite. Yep, EnDerr being ever so careful. Off the back of this, what that drone was, what those Lings were unable to scout, looks like 2 gas in the main. Not predicting anything too much right now, but there is the starport going down relatively quickly. Hellions are being pumped out from that reactor, and I'm wondering if we're going to see some sort of Hellion Marine Banshee harassment, or at least Hellion Banshee into some Marine pushes. We still got to see, though. There's no tech lab, nothing early to get a quick Banshee or anything like that, but I've seen some kind of cool stuff lately in Legacy of the Void with that. For now, though, just Hellions, Semper's pumping. Oh,
yeah, of course,
Liberator.
The Liberator opening. Actually, probably not too surprising when you think about it. But it is very easy to slip into like, oh yeah, we're just casting StarCraft. Hellion Banshee, this is what this looks like. And then, bada bing, bada boom, Liberators are a thing now in Legacy of the Void. And yeah, we've seen Liberator openings be used to great effects in TvZ. A couple of these Hellions are going to get in here. Might be able to roast away a couple of drones. End with the drone pool is going to try and drive them away. But, those drones stack up a little bit. And 4 drones go down. And distributing damage between those Hellions excellently with Semper, and so he takes out 5 drones for the cost of 2 Hellions. And oh my god, 2 more Hellions run in.
Yeah, these 2 more Hellions will run in. Maybe pick up a couple more kills. All the drones will be pulling around this spine color, but actually they're all perfectly lining up. Won't quite be the situation. 7 drones go down, but one cool thing on Terraform, the main is not quite so open for Liberator harassment, but the back of the natural base and the third base kind of combined, you can sit a Liberator there easily. For now, though, like a Phoenix, like an early Phoenix expand you may see from some Protoss players, Liberator will just be hunting down Overlords and try to get as much damage as he can. It's key here, though, the Queen of EnDerr is going to try to maybe do something. That's a pretty bold move, honestly, even for a Queen. I think it can get into a nice sweet spot, though, where it can lock down this mineral line, or at least the Queen for now. Oh,
Oh, actually, just near the range. Oh, the queen just about escaped. But yeah, it's going to take down a few drones. Does lock down just 2 mineral patches on this mineral line. But EnDerr does have a position he can actually poke away at that. So he's going to force the Liberator to reposition. And yeah, this is a dance. Why Terraform isn't quite as good for these Liberator openings, because the mineral line is just set a little too far away from the back of the airspace, like the cliff onto the airspace, so that Liberator can be shot at by queens just about anywhere it parks itself.
Yeah, maps like Ruins of Saras, or maybe it's Lairlac Crest. What are the other, both the main and the natural, are very, very viable to be able to go Liberator against.
Certainly.
Yeah, Orbital Shipyard, definitely. But now for EnDerr, I like the meta move. Whether it was Banshees or Liberators, you have a decent chance of at least being able to counter it, push it off for now. But, I mean, EnDerr, he's got to be careful not to clump these up. The Liberator damage, I believe, does... the Liberator's damage, I believe, also does a little bit of AoE to the air. I'm trying to think of how...
Yeah, quite a large amount of AoE.
The base ability, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You've seen the most recent ASL video on ASL YouTube. YouTube.com.
I have, and I was thinking through it, that AoE
blows
damage.
up a lot of Phoenixes in like one shot. Yep, they're pretty good units. Pretty good against Mutas, but of course they are still a little bit slower than Mutas. So there's still a possibility for EnDerr with these 6 Mutas to kind of dance around and try and see what he can do. Maybe get a couple of SCVs just in and out.
Yeah. At least what's nice with these mutas is you're not going to see maybe 1 or 2 rogue Liberators go for some extra drone kills. They have to stay at home, or they have to kind of stay in a pack to actually be able to kill the mutas. So for now, EnDerr, I mean, he's bought himself a lot of time for a 3rd base. Not like Semper was going to push, but still, he's really going to keep Semper on his side of the map. And this is, like you were saying earlier on getting into this, EnDerr loves dictating the match pace and just really controlling it when it's in his hands.
Yeah, for sure. He's an aggressive player. And he's going for double attack upgrades, no defensive upgrades. So we're going to have +1 on the Banelings and on the Roaches. I'm kind of presuming he's going for some kind of Roach Bane fairly soon. Still no gases on his 3rd base. So if he was going to be playing out a normal macro game, he would be taking them. Oh, 2 Mutalisks do go down for nothing, really. So pretty good pick off there by Semper. And EnDerr, he sees an opportunity. He's going to try and go in with his Roaches as +1 attacks finish.
Yeah, once those Liberators lock down, they do 2-shot Roaches, and oh yeah, it's a scary force to move into with that many Liberators. Only 1 Roach will go down, but I mean, for now the Roaches, it's honestly, it's just a race against the clock. He's now locked into the main and natural base. We'll see how much damage he can get done. Combat Shield is still being worked on, but no, it'll finish. Nothing of the sort cancel. SCVs are being pulled, surprisingly enough. The Liberators just are not quite fast enough to siege up, but they're the supply depot, and 4 kills, that was a lot of Roaches and gas.
Yeah, that was an enormous number of Roaches. 20 Roaches almost going down there. And yeah, as you say, 4 SCV kills, spending the Widowmines and a couple of Marines. That was not at all what EnDerr wanted. He wanted a lot more damage than that. But he might be able to still hold on. A couple of Banelings are going to morph up here pretty soon. Baneling speed about halfway done. He might just be able to hold Semper off until he is ready.
Yeah, he might be able to hold him off, but really, EnDerr, he's waiting for this +1 melee attack and such, but the Banelings are just not ready to deal with this bio. The mutas are here to do that little bit of AoE damage, but for now, the bio can simply retreat back onto these Liberators. And honestly, this 4th base here is going to go down soon, but here's the Banelings. The 4th base doesn't go down. The Banelings will be able to get an attack angle. There is speed, but the Liberators actually decimating a lot of the Banelings before they get through.
Yeah, I think a little bit of target fire there by Semper, and the Liberators now on sieging gonna clean out the last couple of Mutas. Do have to run away from those Corruptors though. They're spread out a lot, and yeah, quite a few of these Liberators do go down to the Corruptors as they escape. But yeah, great pick off there by Semper, taking out that 4th base, and EnDerr really needs the 4th base soon because his main is starting to mine out.
Yeah, just about that 9-minute mark. Not sure with Mules again. I've been trying to figure that out, but just about the 9-minute mark is really when you start seeing those mineral patches in the main disappear, and that's what we're seeing. Beautiful, though. EnDerr spots this attack, and I mean, the Corruptors are here. You just cannot engage into that as long as EnDerr has a little bit of a preemptive warning. Corruptors slower than Mutas, yes, but still, they'll get there quickly, and they will kill. They'll almost probably one-shot the medevac. Maybe two-shot.
Yeah, maybe a couple, but I don't know. Semper now moving down, trying to get aggressive onto this 4th base again, but he's set up in preparation for this, but I don't know if... Yeah, he actually should be able to hold this off. This is only a fairly small...
Yeah, they two-shot them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, nice to manage to take one out, but...
Oh, but it
down the
matter.
bottom side of the map... Banelings roll in, a couple good Widowmine hits are not quite enough for Semper to continue to push forward, so lifting up, he's going to try and make his way out. The Corruptors are coming in to intercept, but I'm pretty sure these medevacs are going to get away.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the composition of EnDerr. I know it was made to counter those Liberators, to get some Corruptors out. Even though Metas are a lot faster, I feel like the Corruptors sometimes, they just kill. I mean, they annihilate the medevacs so easily. Sometimes, at least in the late game, maybe a cool position if you're getting dropped a lot. But looks like for now, EnDerr, he's still being very aggressive, while Semper is not letting up on his aggression either. Both players are going to go by each other. EnDerr does not quite have the creep yet to see this army moving out, but he should be able to soon. EnDerr, we'll see what decision he makes. I was going to pull back, actually. You're muted, by the way, I think. Marines will move into that base. They are currently at 2-2, by the way. 2-2 just finished. Pathogen glands actually for EnDerr, but there are no infestors currently out on the map to actually be able to get a fungal. EnDerr, it actually takes, I think, 0 damage from the Widow Mines. I don't think anything died right there.
That's pretty good, and yeah, the Corruptors are going to chase down the medevacs. They need to boost away pretty soon. There, they get it, and manage to make their way out, but Corruptors do take down a couple of them. And Semper now has 2 Widow Mines in a great position for his next attack. If EnDerr doesn't see them, doesn't manage to clear them up before then.
Definitely, he does have those Widow Mines in place in a very nice position in the bottom part of the map. I love the line of sight blockers on this map. You can just do so much with them. But one thing just to hit on at the moment is, I mean, really both players, neither of them right now are trying to go and kill their opponent. Yes, they want to do that in the end, but I mean, we see from Semper, I mean, is getting 3/3 upgrades. He's still playing out this long game. EnDerr does have infestors on the way, and he actually, Pathogen Gland is done. He could get some nice fungals, but both players definitely, they're just waiting for their upgrades to kick in to take these huge battles. Oh infestors got to be so careful.
Yeah, those liberation zones are terrifying. You really don't want to step in them for even half a second. Oh, a huge fungal, and the chain on it is going to kill off all of those Marines. Oh, that was pretty sexy. But I don't think EnDerr's going to get a chance of that again for a little while. He can't get too close to them. Oh, a little group of bios stepping forwards is going to be cleaned up. But stepping into those liberation zones is EnDerr, and he's going to commit to this fully. The Infestor's getting focus fire down, but Semper loses his whole army, and even the Liberators are going to go down to these Corruptors.
Yeah, the Roaches going kind of around the liberation zones and only engaging through one of them really helped him out there, was able to kill a lot. Even though he did lose the Infestors, I mean, we saw beautiful fungal, and there's actually a scan by Semper in the top left, just making sure there's not that base. There is the gold base for EnDerr, but really right now, Semper is starting to get a little bit worried, just because he's lost so much right there. That was a lot of gas commitment in those Liberators and such, and he can keep being aggressive, but with the production of EnDerr, as long as he's got good production, he's going to be able to so quickly remax off these battles. But all the Widowmine shots could be really good here.
Not huge actually. EnDerr does a good job of breaking them out. A couple of those Corruptors reduced low health, but they still do enough damage. Oh, beautiful fungal. And yeah, every single medevac is gonna get taken down there. Apart from that one, just retreating back. And Semper though, he's on so many bases, and EnDerr, I don't feel he has quite the level of sprawl that Semper has, just all over the place. And every time Semper pushes forwards as well, he has Widow Mines, and they just kind of get left behind. And they're going to take out Infestors here. Yeah, Semper is starting to dictate the pace of the game. The only thing I'd be worried about is he cannot rely on those Liberators anymore. He's relying on the Widow Mines, but the Widow Mine shots, huge! Will go into the Corruptors, killing all but 2 of them there, and now there's the Liberation Zone going down again, right on top of the Banelings trying to morph. Banelings do get out. By the way, we do see melee +3 coming down for EnDerr, but GG doesn't quite matter.
ASL Season 5 Prime Legacy of the Void Beta. Here we are on Orbital Shipyard, and in the bottom left-hand corner, the Terran player currently up 1-0, representing Canada and Team Gravity. It is Semper.
And then up here in the top right-hand corner, we have our pink Zerg player down 1-0. Can he bring it back? It's EnDerr.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Semper showing, you know what, he likes the Liberator opener, even though last game, I wouldn't truly call it an opener, but it still is in that kind of area of the game. So I like that. In Orbital Shipyard, not only have we seen that ASL video yesterday on it where the Liberators just smashed Phoenixes, but I mean on Red Bull so many times. As the Terran player, if you get up into your opponent's face and can kind of take that third base position, you can shut down anything getting out of the main base, getting out of the main and natural, and it's just so hard to break because of the map architecture.
Yeah, sure, and all Shipyard's definitely a much better map for those Liberator openings, but so far we see him collecting a little further into the gas through his or gas on his barracks with Reactor into double Reaper opening here for Semper, switching things up, going 3cc behind this, so he's going to be trying to keep EnDerr at home while he gets his own macro up. And yeah, actually, again, these scouting links are going to be completely denied, but this time it's by 2 Reapers, and that's already going to give EnDerr an early tip-off as to what's coming at him. The fact that he's opened up Roach Warren is great for him.
Yeah, it is great. He'll be able to stop these but they still do have a couple seconds to at least get a scout off, maybe pick off a queen if they're lucky. But remember, KD8 charges, 4 of them will start to kill these drones, and there's only a 7-second cooldown, so if they can potentially get off 2, you kill drones. That won't be the case, though. They do move in. They don't quite see the roaches yet, but they should kind of have an inclination of that. No third base, no lings out at least yet. It's got to be going somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. And EnDerr looks like he's actually going to move these roaches across the map, so he's playing a little bit of a dangerous game here. If he overcommits too far to his aggression, then these Reapers, they really have the potential to snowball. They're going to take a fight against these queens, but EnDerr wisely microing back against that KD8 charge. And yeah, these Reapers getting into the middle line is dangerous for these drones, but oh, they're actually going to get surrounded on them. No, not quite. Oh, the Reapers, the grenade saves them, but it's actually still not enough. Still, though, 23 drones have been lost by EnDerr.
5. Only 5, actually. Yeah. 5 will go down, but now the Ravengers. Now we're going to see how Semper deals with these Ravengers. As we were saying, he did go 3cc, so there's not that many early Marines here, but he did open up with the Reactor and is going to be able to start getting them down, but that could easily go down. SCVs are being potentially pulled to try to deal with it, but now this 3 roach opening, more roaches coming on the way, but I mean, that early just couple roaches not only deflected those Reapers possibly if they kind of did not get attacked by the drones, but you're going to be able to just tail down hell on this.
Nice, yeah, these Ravagers really doing some work. And with the roaches able to come in front and fight a bit of tanking for them, the Ravagers can really make use of their longer range and their corrosive fire ability to just smash down on that bunker. And yeah, I mean, if EnDerr has to surround the bunker repairing with his SCVs, a couple well-placed corrosive vials can tear apart the SCVs and the bunker. We see Semper having to be so careful about keeping his SCVs just a little away from that splash damage.
Yeah, the basic attack of those Ravengers is 6 to the Marines 5, but when they're in that bunker, they do get the +1 range, or maybe it's +1 sight. I believe it is +1 range, though, but they can just barely shoot those Ravengers if they're doing their basic attack, so they got to be really careful, pulling back, throwing down corrosive bile, and that's really the one way to assault that bunker, and they definitely have it here. And yeah, more SCVs going down. So far, only 5 workers EnDerr has killed, but still, that's with relatively little put into this aggression. We do see Lair and more Lings coming off the back of this. EnDerr kind of sees an opportunity, and he may be able to take it here. The Roach is doing pretty well.
Yeah, Semper, though, folks firing down the Ravagers, and those Marauders have been absolutely invaluable there.
So many Lings are coming across the map, but there's no speed at all, and no speed on the way because of it being put into the Roaches, at least that gas. 2 more extractors on the way. I mean, EnDerr can keep trying to push into this, but without speed, his reinforcements are incredibly slow, and the Lings are just honestly not too good.
Yeah, especially in that early stage of the game is stims coming towards completion. When that's done, the bio is going to be faster than these lings here. It's not something you get to say all too often. Still, though, those Ravagers are great at poking away, just gradually establishing a foothold here. You can take down this depot, and he's got a solid position up in Semper's base. And without edging forwards and poking away at those lings for a good long while, I don't see Semper ever being able to take a straight-up fight for a good amount of time. But, oh, 4 SCVs from that Corrosive Vial. That's a great pick for EnDerr.
Yeah, it's not only a contain on your opponent, not allowing that early third CC to be utilized into that third base, but, as you were saying, SCVs are being pulled and constantly being picked off. Semper has to resupply every so often to really utilize that. For now, though, EnDerr, I mean, these Ravagers, they have to stay alive to have any aggression possible, because as I was saying, versus the bunker, the roaches won't do anything, so neither the Corrosive Bile, at least in these small forces. So they will be pulling back, but still, I mean, Semper behind this. Tons of SCVs were actually healing his bunker. There they pull out. There's the scan. Third base going down. 2 bunkers were salvaged, but off the back of this, not only has Spire been started, but it's literally only 10 seconds away for EnDerr.
That is a pretty great situation for him. I think overall he's done really, really well. Semper went for a pretty greedy opening. And given that it was 3cc, his mules have been tearing through the main mineral line. So EnDerr's going to be, you know, on a pretty comfortable full 3-base income for a decent while. Whereas Semper, pretty soon is going to be going down to only mining off his natural and his third, effectively. So EnDerr can feel pretty good about what he's done with that little bit of aggression. And yeah, Semper's actually, he's going to have to start throwing down another CC fairly shortly, whereas, yeah, EnDerr's okay.
Yep. Semper really has to kind of stabilize after being contained and losing a decent amount of those workers. And one thing to point out, he does have a reactor on the starport. If he wants to make Liberators, he can, but he's pretty starved on resources. Does have 200, almost 300 gas in the bank, maybe something, but Mutalisk coming in. Bio is not going to be in the right position, but Semper does have a little bit of an inkling about it. Oh, looks like he may get a few kills here. I don't actually think it's worth it at the gate. Oh, wow. It takes a decent amount of damage with that. Does pick off 3, and looks like Semper's going for that drop on the left. Third base. Ravagers are already there, but maybe he'll do something, at least pick off some Overlords here and there. There's actually a beautiful Overlord spread for EnDerr at the moment.
Yeah, not so much anymore as it scouts those dropships coming in, and yeah, Semper picks them off, doing what damage he can, because he would have struggled to actually get anything done to EnDerr if he just continued on. It's on the way. Oh, that is a nice little pick-up there for Semper. Getting a couple of those Mutalisks, but he has to be careful not to overstay his welcome, because, of course, creep is all around here, and if he gets caught up by EnDerr's army, the Banelings will be very happy to say goodnight to all this bio.
Yep. Semper, at least right now, is kind of doing the textbook counter to what he sees. He's pumping out a lot of Liberators, but almost half his army, not now, is at home, but previously, when he tried to take down those back rocks, or at least was looking like he was going to take down the back rocks to EnDerr's third base, only half his army was actually there because he was worried about those mutas. Now that he knows they're on the other side of the map, he can start pushing out, and where are his Liberators at the moment? He's got only 2 Liberators out. He did cancel some of the earlier ones, but still 2 more on the way, and this is looking potentially disastrous here for EnDerr. So we will see a quick pause, but this third base, easily the Liberator can just kind of get a nice position on it, start picking off some drones if he wants to. Even with that, the mutas are not going to be able to engage these, whatever. They're not going to be able to engage for a little while. Got to be really careful.
Yeah. Ultra Shipyard had a fair few chokes on kind of avenues into the up to the 4th base, despite being a relatively open map overall. But yeah, a nice drop into this main is going to pick up a lot of these workers, and Semper's taking out the back rocks, and he can feel pretty confident slowly pushing up there with the Liberators' liberation zones, making the army feel a little bit more free. But oh my god, some massive Widowmine hits actually take out almost all of EnDerr's army. And the Liberators overextending a little too far into those, the Ravagers extending a little too far into those Liberators, get completely annihilated, just popping there, and GG. 2-0 from Semper. He's going to advance on to the winners match.
Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to support the ASL by hitting the button now.